Hello, friends. Welcome back. We are going to learn more on the Hugging Face vision ecosystem, and I am going to go through step by step, and I will explain you all the features that we have with the Hugging Face vision ecosystem. That's so interesting and fantabulous. This gives you everything, and all these things comes with ease. You do not have to really panic when you have to code with Hugging Face. It's going to be easy. I have given the links here which will help you to understand and practice with the existing examples. I will also give this in the description section so that you can take it forward from there. They are all openly available. Well, the first step is to set up everything as required, and we need to install the transformers and the datasets as required. We need to understand what is a transformer. I have given you a clear picture earlier itself. Transformers are nothing but they provide you pre-trained models. Thousands of pre-trained models are there which can help you with the text, vision and audio applications building. You can go ahead for text, images, audio. All these applications can be built with this Hugging Face transformers, and I have given enough inputs on this in the previous video. So please go ahead and have a check there. Right. Once you understand what is transformer, you need to also understand that the Hugging Face transformers is completely backed by the giants like the PyTorch, the TensorFlow, the JAX. All these guys are backing up Hugging Face like anything. Also, there are many pre-built examples available, which will not be difficult at all for you. I'm telling you, it will be so easy for you to walk through. Having said this, this is time for us to understand the datasets, the Hugging Face datasets. They are nothing but lightweight library providing you two of the very important features. The first one is like the one-line data loaders. Any public dataset, whatever you have, can be loaded just with one line. It's going to be so easy for you. Just one line to download and pre-process any of the number of the datasets. Any major public dataset is covered. How do I do it? It's a simple command here. You can see that here. This is the command that we are using to get the data loaded. So this is going to be very, very simple. And the pre-processing is also very efficient with respect to Hugging Face datasets. It's so simple, efficient, fast. And you can go ahead with your own local datasets, which could be in the formats of the CSV, JSON, text, PNG, JPEG, WAVE, MP3, and so many whatnot. Everything is supported, right? The command is again simple here. Processed underscore dataset equal to dataset.map in the bracket process example. So here you can see that the one line caters to every requirement, and that's simple. You can understand more about the datasets from the link that I have provided, the github.com/huggingface/datasets. Here it gives you the complete view and picture of the datasets. So we have seen about the transformers, we have seen about the datasets. It's time for us to go ahead and go. Instead of me walking through a PPT, it is better that we go ahead and understand the code right away from the Google Colab. That is where we have implemented all these, and it's going to be fun. I'm telling you, it's real easy. What is the first step? First step, as usual, is to set up the required environment. It means I need to install the files and the libraries. The transformers and the datasets are the one that I'm going to install. Exclamation mark install -q transformers dataset. This is the first step. We are installing all the necessary libraries and the datasets here. The transformers are the basics which we are going to use sometime later. The datasets, when you want to use it, yeah, you can use it. So I'm downloading them as well. Now, what are we going to do here? I'm going to walk you through the available computer vision and multimodal models which are available in this ecosystem. I'm going to walk you through step by step. This is very easy, so you can try it on your own. Now, what is the first step? We have installed this. Now, what is the second step? We need to install TIMM as well. Now, what is the next step? The next step is nothing but models. We need to have the models loaded. What do you mean by models here? We have got pre-built available Hugging Face transformers which are available with us. VIT, we call it Vision Transformer. We've got so much of Vision Transformer support available here, and you can identify the one which suits you, and we can go ahead and pull it here in our code, and we can use that VIT, the Vision Transformer. We are done with him. Now the next step is to go ahead with the models. Okay. So what is this? Very simple. We are going to load the Vision Transformer, the VIT, Vision Transformer, and we are going to use them. We can load the model in two different ways. The first way is to simply load it without pre-trained weights. I'm not going to use any pre-trained weights, and we are going to load without pre-trained weights, and it can be done with instantiating the configuration, defining the model architecture, and then creating a model out of it. That's all. So this is the first approach that we are going to follow. Now we can see that from transformers, we are including VAT config, VAT for image classification. So we are going to do the image classification stuff. In that case, we have to import VAT for image classification, and for the configuration purpose, we go ahead with VAT config. Now what do we do? Config equal to VAT config. Number of hidden layers is 12. Hidden size equal to 768. So you are not using any pre-trained weights. You are giving your own parameters. You are configuring it. And then we are building the model. That's all. So VAT for image configuration, image classification, and the config is passed as an argument here, and you are building a model. That's all. This is the first way to do it. I'm running it now. It may take some time. You do not have to bother. It may definitely take some time. So once this is done, this is the first approach. So we have loaded a very simple model. Now coming to the next part of it, we are trying to print the configuration out here. Print of config will get you all those details. Now alternatively, no, I don't want to go ahead with the previous method. I want to use the pre-trained weights. It can be easily used, and it's going to be typically very easy for the developer to go ahead and pull it out. So how are we going to do that? Hugging Face provides you a lot of pre-trained models, and one such is here. So I am going to use this VAT base patch 16 224. And what is this? This is nothing but a Vision Transformer pre-trained model on ImageNet 21K, right? So resolution is mentioned here 224 cross 224, and this is all fine-tuned. The entire detail about this is presented here. The link is given here for your reference: https://huggingface.co Google VAT-base-patch 16 224. Why the name came? Why are we calling it so? All these things are very clearly presented. Even they are giving you the way to use it. So it's a very simple thing that we can go through and understand it. How do we include it? Button here. This will enable you to copy the name as required, and then you can use this name as the pre-trained weight name. This is the one that you are pulling. We are going to use the pre-trained weight. So model equal to VAT image classification. From pre-trained is that you are going to use the pre-trained weights. The pre-trained weight name is, it's already available, VAT-base-patch 16 224. Now when you run it, you will get this part also very clearly done. That's it. So what have we done till now? Very simple. I have installed the necessary transformers and the data sets. It's to set up the run. The second step, what I have done, I have also installed AMM, and the third step is to get the model loaded. You can define your own configuration, load the model, or you can go ahead by using the pre-trained model, the pre-trained weights which are available in this. And there is a link which has been highlighted as well. Go ahead, see what is VAT-base-patch 16 224, and all the details about that is available in that site, in that particular link, and we are going to load it. But when you are loading pre-trained weight, you need to specify very clearly as from_ pre-trained. You need to mention this name. That's all. It is done and it is run successfully. What is the next step? Any model and anything which for example, any code that you are working on may have its own version, its own history could be there. So you can even specify which version you want, which version of the pre-trained weight you want. Revision details can be also specified, and that's one of the very important features that you should know before you go into the further steps. So that option is available. And I want to load VAT model in another framework like TensorFlow or JAX or Flax. We have multiple options, right? So you can do that as well, and that's very simple. So you can see that model equal to, you need to specify here very clearly from where we are using. We are using TF, TensorFlow. This specifies everything. So this is very simple. Now understand two important points we have given here. The first one is like you can even use proper version. The revisions can be mentioned clearly with respect to which revision should I use with respect to the pre-trained image, the pre-trained model. The second one, when it comes, you need to understand that you can even load a VAT model in another framework, which is like the TensorFlow or JAX or Flax. So you need to just mention that, right? Now this is all done. Now there is something called as private model. You can build models and you can keep it private for your organization only. For example, I am working on a particular client project and that model should not be revealed to any other people. So in that case, I need to make sure that when you build the model, it has to be made private. Only your team can gain access to it, and that's also available, and you can gain access to all this information by visiting huggingface.co/platform. I'm going to open it right now, and this will give you enormous information about, if you go through it completely, you will get enormous information about how to collaborate privately. You can collaborate privately and it will remain private only between you and your team. Now, next step is to pushing a model to the hub. You need to push a model to the hub, and it can be done with a simple statement model.push to hub. That's all. You have given complete materials are available here in this link. I will give this link also in the description section so that you can go through it, but it's very easy. Now what I'm doing, I'm creating a very small VAT model with the configuration number underscore hidden layers equal to 2, hidden size equal to 12. This is my configuration. I have given it. I'm not using the pre-trained one. And then I'm building the model. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to authenticate the hub by providing a token. I'm going to push the model into the hub. For the first, I'm going to build a model. Second, I need to authenticate. I'm clicking that button right now. So once I try to authenticate with Hugging Face-CLI login, it will ask me for the token. You need to generate the token parallelly. I'm doing that right now. And if you see that, you can generate the token here and make sure you generate a token for writing. You can create a new token, and while you are creating, you need to mention it as read or write. Write is preferred later on, otherwise unnecessary errors may come with respect to the access restrictions. So make sure you are selecting the right access appropriately. Now I am copying the token. I need to just paste it here. I am pasting it. Done. So once it is done, it will ask you, do you want to add as a Git credential? I do not require it, and I have clicked no. That's all. We have successfully logged in. The purpose is done. Now we have to push the model to the hub. How do you do it? I need to create a repository inside Hugging Face, and it's very easy. Once you create a repository, you can have the repository named as new underscore VAT. I'm naming it as new underscore VAT, and it is under my username Sriram KV. So once you create it, you can push the model to the hub, and it goes in directly into this. It may take few seconds for you to get this done, and this is done. Now we are reloading back again, and with this step, we have completed the process of loading the model, pushing the model into the hub. It is very, very simple. I hope I have explained you clearly. Now, we have got multiple features available. We can predict, we can go ahead with pipeline API, we can go ahead with image classification pipeline, we can use the existing object detection pipeline. All these are given as excellent features here, and I'm going to walk you through one by one after this. Till now, I hope everything is clear, and we are getting into the next step now. What are we going to do? We are going to predict on the image. We are going to load CATS image from the Coco dataset. I have already got a link available here, the URL available here, images.cocodataset.org. And if you check this, this will be a cat image, what we have here, CATS image in fact. Now what are we going to do? We are going to import the image from the import request. URL is available here. Now additionally, we will use image.open and request.get. URL is passed as an argument. Streaming is to.raw. Now we are saving it as cats.png, and we are just printing it here. So we have got an image ready right now, and this image has got cats inside it. That's what we have done. Alright, we have loaded an image which is going to be used further, and we are going to do more operations on it. Well, what next? I am going to take you through a series of operations which are all possible, which will explain you the gamut of operations that can be done with the Hugging Face. We will go into it. Now what we have seen is all about getting the initial stuff set up. We have got the environment clearly set up. We have done the pip install transformers dataset. Pip install Kim is done, and then we have loaded a model. The model configuration is specified by you first, and then you use the model which is available, which is pre-trained, pre-weighted model where pre-trained weights were available for us. Use that as well, and then we try to push it onto the push the model onto the hub, and we gained access to the same, and we have logged in into the we have got the authentication done properly, and then we have logged in, and then we push the model into it. So this is what we have done now, right? So the next step is going to be more interesting, where we are going to do more of technology stuff with respect to image classification. We can do more of identification, all those things, and all those are supported here. Before that, we need to understand the loading of a feature extractor. What is a feature extractor? That is going to help you in preparing the images for the next step. Before you build the model, you may have to do some things. It is like preparing the image for the meta inference. It can help you in resizing. It can help you in normalizing. All these things will be clearly done through the feature extractor. And here we are going to load the feature extractor. From the transformers, we are importing VAT feature extractor. And you can see that this step helps you in getting the normalization, all the pre-work. You can also use from the pre-trained models, from the pre-trained available models, and that's also fine. We have mentioned that as well very clearly here. Now, having said that, what's the next step? We are going to explore available options like the Auto API, Pipeline API, image classification pipeline. All these are going to be explored right now very clearly. Right? What is it? Auto API is the first one to come into picture. What is Auto API? Very simple. In many cases, in most of the cases, the architecture that you want to use can be guessed from the name or the path of the pre-trained model which you are supplying to from underscore pre-trained method. People who are using it frequently will understand it. So, by the name or the path itself, you will be able to predict it. Auto classes here will help you in that job done. They will automatically retrieve the relevant model with the given name in the path, and it will help you in identifying it very easily. The auto classes automatically instantiate the appropriate class for you based on the checkpoint identifier that you provide. Right? It has support for image classification, object detection, image segmentation. All these are supported very clearly. It's very easy for you to use. So, step is what we are going to see right now. Now we can see that here, auto model image classification from pre-trained. If you see it very clearly, auto classes automatically instantiates the appropriate pieces for you, as I told you, based on the checkpoint identifier. Currently, all these are very clearly mentioned in the previous discussion. Here, if you see, automatically it instantiates ResNet for image classification based on whatever we have provided here. Right? ResNet for image classification will be clearly provided based on what you provide here as the checkpoint. This is one feature that you must know. Then next comes the pipeline API. What is it? This allows you to just feed. You can just feed the text or image or audio to it, and you can get the prediction. All the complete process is handled by the pipeline. You do not have complexity at all in terms of you coding it. Everything is taken care of internally, and you can do the image classification, object detection, image segmentation. Everything can be done, and more support will be added soon, they say. The next step that we need to understand is the image classification pipeline. I told you about the pipeline API. Now, how are we going to use the image classification pipeline is what is most important. From the transformers, we are importing the pipeline, and we need to go ahead with the image classification. So, when we do that, we need to pass just the image as the argument to the image pipe here, and it will get you the complete prediction done. You can see that score plus the label, Egyptian cat with the score. Everything is, all the possible predictions are done. The image classification is done very easily, and you do not have to really go ahead with any further complications. So, this is very easy. The image classification is now done. Now the object detection pipeline is there. What is it? It helps you in detecting the objects. Object detection pipe equal to pipeline of object detection. Now the results when you print, if you see this very clearly, you got score here along with the predictions very nicely done. The object detection is done very nice. So you are visualizing the results very nicely, and we are getting it as a plot as well. So you can see that once you complete all these processes, you'll be like getting everything in one go. This is what Hugging Face provides you. This provides you easier stuff. You can even go with the image segmentation pipeline. It gets you the complete support for the image segmentation pipeline, and when you get it, the segmented results are available for you. So all these are easy. You go through it step by step. You'll be able to understand things very nicely. I'll give you this link. I'll share this file also with you. This is openly available. I have just added a few comments for me to understand things better. So I'll give you all the guidelines. I'm sure you'll be able to understand. So we set up the environment, we built the models, we loaded the model, we then understood how do we go ahead with logging in, how did we get authentication, how do you push the model to the hub, all these, and then feature extractor we understood. Then we had an image available with us. We understood how do we use the pipeline. With the pipeline, image classification is done. With the pipeline, object detection is done. Image segmentation is done. All these are done. Finally, we printed the image. All this with it. I hope it was useful. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask me in the comment section. I'll be very happy to clarify. Thank you very much.